Hello and thank you for joining us again on Agenda 2030. I am Toyin Nkamiang John. In the implementation of the SDGs, strategic partnership for the attainment of the goals is one of the key catalysts. It was in line with this that the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals has been galvanizing the private sector players as key stakeholders in the implementation of the goals. On this episode, we'll be bringing to you some impact projects by stakeholders targeted at attaining the goals. In a bid to enhance the partnerships with the private sector in support of the SDGs implementation in Nigeria, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, in 2017 inaugurated the Private Sector Advisory Group on SDGs. The establishment of the group was also one of strategies to mobilize additional resources while minimizing wastage and inefficiency in the public sector. The Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs also believes that the organized private sector, being a key partner in pursuit of the SDGs, must be supported to play its role as the SDGs work better in the spirit of partnership. Some members of the PSAG in one of their meetings told Agenda 2030 that they are looking at innovative mechanisms to support the achievement of the SDGs in Nigeria.
So the PSAG essentially is a private sector commitment to supporting and partnering, with the government essentially for delivering the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in Nigeria. It's a variety of private sector enterprises recognizing the fact that the government and the government's wallet, as well as the government's resources on its own, cannot ensure that we rapidly accelerate our progress towards the delivery of the Sustainable Development Goals. So it's about galvanizing action in the private sector, mobilizing corporate partners, both multinationals as well as Nigerian-owned businesses, firstly to build awareness around the SDGs.
To support the development of Nigeria, it's important for us to engage private sector. Private sector engagement is a critical strategy for USAID, and as the in-country person on ground, I'm always exploring ways we can partner together.
What we've seen is that there's renewed emphasis by 5 cluster groups to address SDGs around hunger, no hunger, education, improvement in education, and housing. But what's also most important is that for the first time we are seeing those groups coming together in alignment so that the impact as it relates to the SDGs is actually more enormous, as it were, or more impactful.
It was very clear to us from an early stage that leveraging on our different strengths would be absolutely critical in ensuring that the 2030 agenda was met. It is a thing of great joy and fulfillment to see the developments within the PSAG. We remain committed as ever to contributing, to leveraging on the different relationships that we have and that can be brought from the different members of the PSAG to ensure that that common goal is met.
We created Kinabuti in 2010, and since then we have trained over 122,000 people in vocational trainings, entrepreneurship trainings, digital trainings. We go all around Nigeria and we use the network of the youth through an inclusive communication.
Coca-Cola is one of the members of the Private Sector Advisory Group on SDGs in Nigeria and has been contributing substantially to the government effort to tackle the challenge of maternal, infant, and neonatal deaths. The multinational company recently donated medical equipment to the 149-bed Maternal and Child Center, MCC, located inside the Alimosho General Hospital, which was constructed by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals.
Ensuring healthy lives, promoting well-being and better healthcare outcomes for all at all ages is one of the Sustainable Development Goals which Nigeria, along with all members of the United Nations, committed to in 2015. Some of the ambitious targets are to reduce global maternal mortality and end the preventable deaths of newborns and children under 5 years of age by 2030. In achieving this, the Coca-Cola Safe Birth Initiative campaign made a stop at the General Hospital, Alimosho, Lagos State, on February 17, 2020, where equipment and supplies worth a total conservative value of about $742,000, that is over 267 million naira, were handed over to the hospital as it seeks to improve the country's maternal and neonatal mortality indices. The Minister of Health, represented by the head of Department, Clinical Services, Yaba Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Dr. Olubenga Uweye, appreciated the effort of the Coca-Cola's partnership in preferring solutions to health issues and called for other corporate organizations to follow suit. In his words, the Coca-Cola Safe Birth Initiative has been the front runner in the achievement of the third Sustainable Development Goal of well-being and health for all. This partnership has successfully built capacity across the country's public health institutions, and today's event marks the handover of another batch of medical deliverables to the General Hospital, Lagos. Speaking during the event, the Business Unit Public Affairs, Communications and Sustainability Director, Coca-Cola West Africa, Clem Ugorji, said, "The Safe Birth Initiative is a part of the company's well-being program to support the effort of the government in reducing the alarming numbers of women and newborns who die from birth-related complications every day." The initiative was born out of the company's desire to ensure moms and babies come home alive as part of the company's effort towards building sustainable communities where we live and work.
The Safe Birth Initiative is one small way in which we are contributing to ensure that mothers and babies come home alive from the maternity wards in our various hospitals. We know that the only way we can continue to remain successful as a business is if our communities are healthy, if our women are healthy, and if there are more babies in the country who will form the bulk of the consumers.
The current figures for maternal, neonatal, and under age 5 mortality are 576 per 100,000 live births, 37 per 1,000 live births, and 128 per 1,000 live births, respectively. It is estimated that Nigeria accounts for 25% of Africa's neonatal mortalities, and also estimated that about 80,000 of these deaths are preventable. In this regard, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals made plans in partnering with interested private sector firms and stakeholders in building capacity to tackle lack of healthcare services related deaths, and Coca-Cola, whose belief is that business is only as sustainable as the communities in which they operate, has keyed into partnership with the Sustainable Development Goals Office. This strategic partnership birthed the Coca-Cola Safe Birth Initiative, which has received recommendations from the SDGs office and continues to contribute to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals.
When we conceptualize this project, we don't have the managing director there, we don't have the chief executive there. It was me, myself, and Clem delivered the message with passion, and that was what led to all of this. The good thing for us is to have our baby get in our womb for 9 months, and the day of delivery we just walk in here and have our baby delivered safely. But one thing I must tell you to do, as you go home, please encourage your friends, your customers, your children, even your enemy to come for antenatal clinic.
The Safe Birth Initiative is a multifaceted project aimed at addressing the fundamental issues leading to high maternal and neonatal mortality rates in the country through its key intervention scheme. Rather than treating the symptoms, it had adopted a cure the disease approach. The approach is focused on strengthening the capacity of public hospitals through the Equip, Train and Repair intervention scheme, as well as creating awareness of safe pregnancy practices and effective care for newborns. Speaking on behalf of the Governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the inauguration ceremony, the Secretary to the Lagos State Government, Mrs. Folashade Jaji, said, "The Lagos State Government commends and thank the management of Coca-Cola Nigeria Limited for this very wonderful initiative aimed at strengthening our capacity to address the issue of maternal and newborn mortality in Nigeria."
On behalf of the government and people of Lagos State, especially residents of Alimosho local government, the largest federal constituency in Nigeria, as has been proclaimed by everyone here, I wish to commend and thank the management of Coca-Cola Nigeria Limited for this very wonderful initiative aimed at strengthening our capacity to address the issue of maternal and newborn mortality in Nigeria.
Dr. Madewa Adebajo, Medical Director of Alimosho General Hospital, also commented, "We are here today, having received 2 container loads of medical equipment and consumables. We thank Coca-Cola and MedShare, as this will go a long way to complement our efforts towards the safe delivery of our mothers and newborns." Prior to the Alimosho visit, the Federal Medical Center Ebute Metta and the National Hospital Abuja received a total of 6 40-feet containers of medical equipment, kits, and supply, courtesy of the Safe Birth Initiative. In addition, a 2-week training session was organized for biomedical engineers and technicians at the School of Biomedical Engineering of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital in a bid to upskill the biomed engineers and technicians' capability in tackling preventable mothers and infant deaths through equipment uptime. The inauguration ceremony had a number of dignitaries present. Among these dignitaries were the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Oyelokpe Adefulure, the Secretary to the Lagos State Government, Mrs. Folashade Jaji, the Honorable Commissioner of Health, Lagos State, Professor Akinola Abayomi, and the traditional ruler of Shasha Kingdom, Alimosho, Oba Babatunde Akombi Ogunobi. The Coca-Cola Safe Birth Initiative is a social investment from Coca-Cola Nigeria in partnership with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, geared at preferring sustainable solutions to the most pressing challenge of bringing moms and babies home alive.
First of all, I'd just like to thank the sponsors, Coca-Cola and MedStar, for all the work you've done here. One, for making this equipment available to us that will improve our Safe Birth initiative.
We're talking about a company that cares about its customers. We are talking about empowering, equipping the hospital.
My name is Olayinka Shokumbi. I would want to appreciate the bodies behind this initiative.
Government alone cannot do. We need the support of the private sector so that we can live a very sustainable life that will bring about prosperity and to make the world a better place for all of us.
Similarly, in the first half of 2019, the Wonder Foundation completed activities leading to the closeout on the foundation and Educate a Child project. Through this, the foundation has mobilized over 60,000 out-of-school children, particularly girls and vulnerable children, back to school. The Wonder Foundation is also embarking on Adopt a School initiative. This video captures some of the activities.
Kanin babana ya shiga Boko Haram da daddare kullum sai su zo wurin babana su ce zai bi su ko za su kashe shi. Sun kashe kanin babana 6. Muka gudu mu bar garin muka zo nan. Babana ya samu kuɗi ya sa ni a makaranta. Ni ne ta fari wanda na fara zuwa makaranta. Shekara mai zuwa zan tafi secondary school, ina so in yi karatu, yi kokari domin in je university. Idan na girma ina so in zama likita.
According to UNICEF, over 10.5 million kids are out of school in Nigeria. There are many primary schools in deplorable conditions, and the teachers are all too often undertrained and ill-equipped. So many communities in desperate need of quality education. The Owando Foundation is building strong partnerships to change these outcomes for Nigeria's children.
The Owando Foundation is an independent charity. Its mission is to support the Nigerian government with universal basic education.
We didn't have any school here. We started together by putting some of those puppies, using some pens. That our sister said, "What is going on here? Is it a school?" Then we say, "It's school." "Are you sure?"
When it is raining, our class will be wet. My daddy said that he will take me away from this school.
We believe that to secure the future, we need to invest today, and what greater investment than the children who are the future.
Owando Foundation built the first structure. Today they are having more than 600 pupils.
If rain is falling, we can close the windows and leave the doors, so it's good now.
Our core program is the Adopt a School initiative. It's a program that supports the holistic development of any school. We have 88 schools across Nigeria.
Owando Foundation has renovated and improved the physical facilities in all these schools.
It's our way of supporting the Nigerian government by adopting public primary schools across the country in the areas where we have the most need.
They brought in toilets, motorized borehole.
We have seen wash bay. You need to wash your hands, and that culture is gradually transmitting to community.
One do time construct ICT room, computer room, the solar. An kai mana toilet guda biyu da bohol na ruwa. Yanzu haka ma makwabta na kusa ga makaranta suna bida mu taimaka. Muna 'yan musu ruwa.
Owando Foundation has established ICT centers across the country.
They're integrating technology into the teaching in the schools. Teachers are now trying to project stories through technology. They put up songs and the kids can sing along, things like that.
It made life easy. Before I even teach, I will just play maybe 5-minute videos for them to listen to a particular topic. They are always happy. They are interacting.
Owando Foundation has developed the capacities over 700 teachers.
The leadership is very important. Otherwise, teachers will not come to school. So even if you train the teachers and they're not in school, it means the kids are not learning.
These teachers were trained right inside their schools.
22 states is huge. There are many teachers, so we've trained master trainers.
You can clearly see the difference of how the teachers are handling the schools far better than the other schools that were not adopted by Owando Foundation.
We have implementing partners in the states who are on the ground to monitor our work.
Monitoring to see whether these teachers are doing exactly what they were trained to do.
The scholarships that we provide is to ensure that children who are indigent are able to continue learning.
The very first set of scholars out of our scholarship program have succeeded in gaining entrance into university. One of the children from Katsina State got the best results in his state, and this has made us very, very proud.
I've been in the Owando Foundation since when I was in primary 6 up to tertiary level.
used to pay our school fees, all what we need in schools. It has a great impact on me.
Part of the reasons why children are out of school is because there's poverty in the land.
But in most primary school, so to my for secondary school. I want to send the host me expect to pay money again. Àti ìgbà tí àwọn Orlando ti sanwó mi ò ní any problem mọ́. Kàn pé wọn ò wá help me. Má sì máa kiri ọjà tí mo bá kiri.
A child needs to be well fed in order to be able to learn in school. A child needs school uniform in order to get into the school and be able to function with other children. And so our scholarship program helps to support all of these other needs of the child that are not covered by the government.
SBMC work to support school improvement programs. Management of schools belongs to the head teacher and the staff. But for the school governance, supporting what they do to make school better, that is where SBMC actually come in.
That is, the intention is to involve communities in school administration. SBMCs are trained on their role and responsibilities. We also train them on how to mobilize resources for school development activities.
We actually mentor them and monitor their activities. What they also do is develop school improvement plans with the teachers, and we support them.
Wọ́n ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó jọ wá lójú gan pẹ̀lú àtúnṣe school náà.
When I was small, I cannot see, and the doctor checked it and said that this I can see, this I cannot see. Because of my challenge, I work harder, and I can do the thing that my classmates can do. When I grow up, I want to be an artist and paint and draw. I want my art to help me see the world better.
Lasting change takes partnerships, and long-term impact happens when the whole community is involved. By supporting government intervention and mobilizing partners to lend their time, expertise and resources, lives are transformed.
We look for strategic partnerships that would help to scale our interventions and replicate in areas where we currently do not work. We ensure that key stakeholders are carried along in the planning, in the implementation, and post-implementation of the work that we do. The result is to ensure that the Nigerian child is empowered.
Owando Foundation has been a very great partner. They have been very, very trustworthy.
It's the first time we see a company that nobody take 1 naira from you. The integrity is very high. They are very good.
Owando Foundation is a listening organization. They rely on us to tell them what they can do differently.
So Owando is not coming like, oh, we know it, we have the answers, and they're having success story because they have trusted communities.
Owando has been very gracious to us. Such a level of cooperation is not common, it's very rare.
They train, put structures on ground, provide ICT centers, provide water for learners, give instructional materials, give scholarships. You know, this is a lot of assistance.
Education is very, very, very important. Knowledge is power. And education is the bedrock of every other development.
So we need support, we need partners to come and support all the states.
If we have more partners who don't have dropouts.
We have talents in Nigeria. Let's work together to invest in the Nigerian child.
Remember, this used to be a poultry pen. Now it's a thriving school with over 600 pupils learning in a conducive environment. This kind of profound intervention is why I decided to volunteer my time in support of the Owando Foundation. We all need to do what we can to support our children and our nation's future.
Remember, you can always watch this program and other episodes by subscribing to our YouTube channels on youtube.com/Fresh News TV and youtube.com/Agenda 2030 TV. You can also watch the program live on Facebook. Just log on to www.facebook.com/Fresh News NG and www.facebook.com/Agenda 2030 TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Agenda 2030 TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to drop your comments and share with your contacts. Do use the hashtag Agenda 2030 and hashtag Agenda 2030 TV. And that has been the size of our program this week. Do keep a date with us next week as we bring you another refreshing episode. I am Toyin Nkamiang John. Thanks for staying with us.